What's happening, fam? L.A.R. movement still moving. The book is entitled Lessons from a Non-Custodial Father at Amazon, Kindle, and Create Space. A link will be in the description box below, as usual. Um, this video is entitled She's Gotta Have It, episode number 5 review. Now, this one is interesting is hell to me. She got dumped by her girlfriend, the previous one, because she couldn't really commit. And because she got dumped, all of a sudden, she dumped all the men, quote unquote. But then after she gets dumped by the woman, she goes back to the guys, right? So it starts off, she's having sex with a guy, and she says the wrong name. He don't know that because the guy's name is after a planet. So she's, her, like the OJ say, your body's here with me, but your mind is on the other side of town. She's that right then and there. He's having sex with her, and I guess he's doing it in a way that the other guy does it, so she calls his name. Which lets me know she got issues. Like, she needs to really slow down. So they have a conversation, they talk. He tells her his upbringing, that he's a corporate guy, but he comes from the projects. And it was difficult balance for him, And he doesn't want his child to grow up like that, Overstreet, right? Well, then he's saying how good his son is. And all of a sudden, you see this video, and come to find out it's his son on a viral video in black and white face with non-white kids with a nigger video, at a private school. So, his wife gets at him, like, you need to come handle this. So he goes out there, and I like it. Because then they get to the school, and the father has something to say to the principal, because they made the school made a assignment for the students to make a video that goes viral, and it's touched on something. Controversy sells. So this little kid decided, I know to make a video go viral. Us saying nigga and wearing nigga t-shirts. Yeah. And you know what? They were right. It went viral. Very disrespectful, though. So, Jamie's at the school. Like, we don't pay $45,000 a year for this. This is not what we're paying for. And the guy was like, well, smile. He said, okay, let me get this right. So if the video was, I love being a kike. I like being a spick. I like being a wop or what. He just started a wetback, whatever. He just started going. I like being a faggot and shit like that. Would y'all do this? Would y'all have allowed this video out after the class, after this assignment? And the guy's just sitting there like. So then the wife jumps in like, I know somebody in media that works for the paper, and I can get him this story, and we'll see how this goes. And then he's like, this will never happen again. We'll take it down. Which becomes a problem for me just watching it, because it's funny how when it played on that nuance, it's okay to humiliate the black folks. But all of a sudden, your brain clicks when you got morals when you put that same scenario on non-black folks, right? But furthermore, your answer was to lowball and just say we'll take it down. When we know good and well that if that was somebody else, they probably would have went to school for free for a year. Because that's just unacceptable, right? With or without the connections that they was about to use. So now, Jamie got to talk to his son. And his son doesn't want to be in private school because he feel like he doesn't fit in. You know, he has to do whatever he has to do to be cool to fit in because he's not black enough and he's never going to be white enough or Asian enough or, you know, and, you know, so he's in a precarious situation that he doesn't like. But it moves into that we're a different generation. It's all love. Everybody does it. Everybody says it. And Jamie's trying to say, son, nah, don't play that. Because he's a suburban kid. He doesn't even realize that his suburban friends wouldn't do that if they were in an urban environment because they'll be nervous about getting their head cracked. They'll only do that in a suburban environment because they feel like they have enough backing to just do it. And just get us a little pet Negro to help us figure this out, right? So I gotta say, wow. Then it digs into Jamie's life with his wife. Where, because he was a project dude, he came up out of the projects and went to private schools and worked his way up to where he's at. His wife is a light-skinned sister who, for all intents and purposes, she wants to be white, not necessarily upper class. You know, high yellow girl, blonde hair. Don't talk like that. We're above this. This is how we do. We're just completely assimilated. I don't mean she wants him to talk proper proper English because he's really an accomplished guy, but she wants him to be the whitest black guy that fits the mold. And he ain't that. He's a smart guy who understands he's juggling two worlds. The world he came from, and the world that he lives in. He's, you know, but she doesn't care about that because it doesn't necessarily fit her image. And then she knows that he has another woman. And the irony of this was, that I liked about it was, she's like, I'm not messing with you because you sleeping with other women. He's like, you pushed me out. You ain't want me. And it's like they both made a point. And it was like that silence, like, you know, I'm not messing with you because you effing with other women. Yeah, I am. But you already pushed me out. Yeah, I did. And then it trickles down to the son. Because the son knows this. He knows the whole situation because he's in the house, right? And the irony of it is, that was a good father-son moment when dad could be real with his son. And his son understands that dad still loves him and he still loves his dad. But the marriage ain't really working, you know? And teaching life as it goes, you know? You want the things to work out for the best, but it looks like, you know, they're not at the same space and they're not willing to let each other grow and evolve into something else. You know, because the flip side about it is he was wearing a different cologne and she was like, what is that? And he was like, that's my new cologne. Like the reverse of that, when a woman does something and a guy doesn't pay attention, she's like, oh, this is what I mean, you don't care. So it looked like the reverse of that. Like she didn't care because he's like, oh, why are you wearing that? And like, this is my new cologne, whatever. What's the problem? You know? So Nola in the class, because what I didn't get into episode 4 was the class that she was teaching. She had to make album covers, and the kids are like in a kind of like in a private school environment, you know, uniforms and all that. But when they made the album covers, it's a reflection of what they enjoy about life, and a lot of it is ratchet. One particular girl depicts herself as Lil' Kim. And they're like, whoa, wait a minute. So, you know, it's empowering. But, you know, her and the principal, Rockaletta Moss, got to talk about this. Like, yo, you know, we're going to have to, you see what we're working with here. You see by those album covers what the home life of these children has them gravitating to. And I'm like, And at that point, you know, they talked to the little girl later, and she was showing her other artwork to be a better artist. You know, because they saying they didn't want to tell them their work was ratchet. They just told them it was provocative, so they didn't want to demoralize them. But you know, instead of just saying let's broaden our horizons, in my opinion. And what happens is the little girl says, "Look, you know, obviously look at Amber Rose and you know Nicki Minaj. They got all these followers. Being slutty can be a good business move." And she's saying this at 12. And when you see the boys talking, the boys clowning each other, but like they were playing the dozens, and Nola had to check them about what the dozens were. And the problem wasn't that she checked them, because she told them exactly the truth. The problem was when a little girl was on that, she didn't check her. Like, yo, you can't walk around here thinking you just gonna be the next little Kim for money. That's not gonna work the way you think it is. You just, you know. And they talked about that little speech where, you know, empowerment sometimes is just a word to make people feel good, but it's not gonna change reality. And I'm like, you should have told that little girl that. You know, the girlfriend, the Jamaica, she's happy that she got her new butt and she's showing it off. And, you know, if she shows it off, that's her thing. But I never understood why she was dressed like that in front of her daughter. Like, because basically she's walking around showing off her new butt in front of her daughter, too. You know, she's in there like a sexy onesie. And it's like, you should dress more appropriately, but you're into your own sexuality to the point you're not thinking about it. You're just being inappropriate in the house while you're thinking you're being comfortable and being free sexually, but nah, you're doing too much. But she shows Nola knows like, oh, I see you, and I guess congratulations. I'm like, boy, oh boy. So for me, I'm looking at this stuff, and I think it started with Greer in episode 4 when he rode up on her and Opal, and Nola acted like, you know, she saw Greer and was like, Opal, get your bitch ass out of there. It's kind of uncomfortable. There's a man around, you know. And Opal picked up on that. So the fact that she's getting back into her life, but she's still, you know, with everybody. Well, all three guys now. She gave up the one girl to still be with all three guys, basically. And living her life. You see how, you know, things are just a little bit too hectic for her. And to me, it was very, very interesting episode. I'm gonna watch 6 and 7 and get on them later. But I got another video to make on somebody. Bye.